Hello guys and welcome back to a brand new video of Cornalysis. This is episode 3 and today we're going to cover how can you become a better teammate. The number one is being vocal about everything that is happening on the map or from around you. So for example, I'm playing connector on B, Anubis, and I hear mid steps, I hear one guy throwing utility mid, I hear one connector, I hear one stairs. All these callouts should be happening because that just helps everyone to understand where everybody is, and with experience you can already start to understand what it's gonna be depending on where the people are, right? So maybe even just because you called stairs, you're A player, you're second mid player, or just a mid player that rotates to A, can throw a nade on stairs. That's a lot of chip damage instantly. And then also it helps you not being so AFK on your position because you're just focused on what's gonna where's people, where can they go, and so you're just more aware of your surroundings in that sense. But don't just talk about what is going on, the steps, the sounds, or whatever is being thrown. You should be also vocal on after plans. Like for example, we got you gone to B, you hit your exit, you got your trades. It's a 2v2 for example now, and you're playing con. Let's say everyone on your team is never gonna call what you're holding, what they're holding. So you're kind of in the dark and you kind of get left worried about what's open, what's not. Maybe instead of focusing on your crosshair, you just check your surrounding. Where's your teammate, what's he holding, checking on radar, maybe not like completely, oh where are you, okay you're holding CT. So basically just try to call out what you're holding, and it would be amazing if the whole team does that on after plans, because then you know that everything's covered or where's the gap that's not covered, and then that way you can fully focus on the fight that you might have here on connector and so on and so on. Also, when rotating, you want to just rotate. Okay, I'm going through water. Like, just explain everything that you're doing for most part, or try to. That way you just always make sure that people can play accordingly, because a lot of times maybe this guy on camera wants to fight on towards A side, but then he doesn't even check the radar that someone's pushing A main, like you're pushing A main, and so he would just die too quickly. But if you, for example, just say, okay, I'm rotating through water, can you wait, play for me or something? He might pause here for a second, and then you like have a 2v1 towards the guy here or something. Next thing, help your IGL. By that I mean help him understand what's going around the map. For example, you're playing connector again and you're just saying, okay, they always will take connector early, like a 130 140 mark, they will molly me off, and so on and so on. This is important information because if the better the team, the easier this gets, and the more time you have with your team, the more you will understand that you can adjust to these things and maybe abuse something else. So if they want to go for a connector and you know that there's typically maybe two guys because they're so aggressive towards you, you can maybe try to do like a water push from A main. You can maybe aggress towards mid or something like that, or aggress towards B main. Like, it doesn't matter what you do, as long as you just keep it in mind that people are gonna try to go for that connector area, and that way you can kind of build a plan on the go. And that's just not connector, it could be A main as well. Okay guys, they have two guys pushing in and third guys flashing on a main. They get their main control. Can you guys do something? So that, what would that instantly tell you? That would mean that there's 3 water, or rather 2 A main, 1 water, and then 1 mid and 1 probably B, just to cover the gaps. So this B guy is kind of weak. This mid guy is very difficult to kill anyways. So flashing onto this B guy might be a good play here, in just because of that information. And especially if the enemy team is defaulting that way, you will find a lot more success of finding these gaps on the enemy's T side. But you can also, that goes also vice versa, right? So we talked about pressure and default. You can kind of imagine the same thing. Just find the tendencies of your team, of your enemies, and try to abuse them in the best way you can. So if you see tendencies of your enemy's team from your position, you should definitely make sure to call them out loud, maybe during the timeout or something, or just mid-round. Doesn't need to be a timeout, and just maybe you can come up with some idea. Too many times I've seen teammates just whenever going over a play, when watching a demo, just saying you shouldn't, for example, be backside in this situation, and they'll leave it at that. So when you ever want to, like, for example, you don't like the play that your teammate is doing or something, don't be, first and foremost, don't be mad at the guy. He might just not understand what you need from him. and or what do you expect from him, especially if it's like you play 2 guys on site regularly and you just everything figured out yet. Usually I would just, number one, keep it calm and maybe just go over with the guy. Like, what do you want him to do if they do this? What do you want him to do if they do this? Like, you want to be constructive with the things that you're doing. Of course, you don't want to lock the guy completely out. He wants to have his own thing as well. So just keep it kind of in a check. What are you saying in a way so that he doesn't just feel like, first thing that you can do is being toxic towards your teammate, being like toxic towards him. Because the worst thing that you can do is being toxic towards your teammate. Of course, a lot of times it can come out in a very mad or angry manner, but that's still fine as long as it's not toxic, right? So whenever you want, or whenever I would want to explain something towards a guy who's playing a position or something specific, I would explain why do I think it's stupid in this case. Like this, like for example, peeking B main in this instance would be stupid because of this and this. Like, because there are 3 guys at B main and you're playing basically 1v3 here or something, and you're just peeking into flashbangs and so on and so on. You should never be doing this. You should maybe just hold here with the flashbang or something and just wait for them to run into you guys, so you actually isolate duels a lot more efficiently. And you want to explain that to him in that way and make him feel okay. Make him understand, okay, now this play actually is stupid, I will never do this. But explain him why it was a bad play and what would you do instead in that situation. Whenever you have struggles, for example, on B side there will be, on Anubis B side there will always be struggles because of how the Anubis map works. So if you feel like you're struggling, even just a bit, like they're pushing 2 guys connector every round and I just die. What do I do? This would be a good time to like ask your team, like, what do you want me to do? Like, what are your ideas? What should I do? Maybe I should just give this up. Like, how do you want to approach this from now on? Because I've been just dying there and, you know, having to struggle with this issue. This would be a good time for you to ask for help and then come up with a solution that you might be not so fine with, but at least you could try it because you're not dying basically every round because of the same thing. So you have at least some type of thing to try. If that doesn't work, once again, you can go back and do your draw board that they still just destroyed me. Enemies destroyed me here and it didn't really work. So when you are feeling a little bit out of it, or whether you just don't have the understanding of how to play the specific position, ask for help. Don't be that guy who just continuously dies as an A anchor because of no reason at all, because you swing left side and you could have swung right side just to isolate these duels a lot more, staying alive or whatever. Just be that guy who asks for advice. This will not only help yourself because you see and hear different perspectives of the game and how you should approach certain things, but also as a whole team, you will feel like everybody's involved into this and everybody's helping out each other. And then at the end of the day, you will feel like, okay, he knows what I'm gonna do in this instance, so he can play accordingly as well. And then you will see also a little bit of just more trust on the side going on and more comfort onto the sides that you play on, and so on and so on. So anyways, that was it. I hope you understand the point. I tried to go over it as quickly as I could. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.